Hello and welcome to SeaWorld San Antonio. This may be different than some of my other videos, as today there are no rides in this video. This video is highlighting some of my favorite animal moments from my visit to SeaWorld during their Inside Look special event. During Inside Look, there are special behind-the-scenes looks into what goes on at SeaWorld in regards to caring for the animals. Here we have an ambassador in the penguin exhibit explaining what it's like to care for these animals on a day-to-day basis. They went through some of the basics like habitat, temperature, food, nesting, and also explained some of the different behavioral quirks that a few of these individual penguins have. I'll give you two quick fun facts about these penguins. They do propose with pebbles. It has happened inside this enclosure, and the ambassadors were able to witness it. Also, some of the penguins recognize their favorite ambassadors and will greet them when they come into the enclosure. Inside the park at Pacific Point, you have the opportunity to feed the sea lions. How SeaWorld does this is they take the regular daily amount of fish that the sea lions eat and they divide most of it up into trays of 4 fish. And I think it was $8, you can get a tray of fish to feed the sea lions. They also have a deal that is like 4 trays for $20, but with my Platinum Pass, I get 1 small tray for free once a month, so that's what I do. There is one extra large sea lion, and he's usually the hungriest. And he definitely knows how to let you know when he's hungry. So it was kind of a slow day at the park, which is going to help explain what you're going to see next. Now, on slower days, those trays don't all get purchased, but the sea lions still have to eat. So what happens is the ambassadors have to feed them all at once. So they kind of went crazy over these fish. It was pretty cool to see this, kind of like a feeding frenzy. All these sea lions swimming and diving and trying to get a snack. Up next, I decided it was time for me to get some lunch, so I found an empty bench next to the flamingo pond. It was a nice little shaded area, not too loud and not very many people around. I got the pizza and literally don't remember what I paid for it. I used my Platinum Pass discount. I had $10 worth of Sea-Bucks to use, so it was pretty cheap. And of course, I had to get a twisted tea, duh. Also, I got a single soda refill on my SeaWorld cup, and of course my Cedar Point koozie. I hate those straws. The first day I bought this cup, it was a single day refill cup, but it never got scanned. So on my second visit, when I had to scan it for the first time, the system thought it was a brand new cup. I got all day refills again. Then I tried to scan it here on my third visit, and it said I was out of refills. Luckily though, SeaWorld will sell you a single refill for $2.50. This pizza is really good for park food. It's kind of like thin crust, almost flatbread situation, crispy around the edges, and of course, I'm always taking way too big of a bite. I couldn't finish the whole thing, and I have split this pizza with a friend in the past as just a snack before, so especially if you're getting a discount, I think it's a pretty good deal. Here are some of my friends just eating their lunch with me. During Inside Look, there was a flamingo presentation. Sadly though, I did not get any good footage of that. If you see some Egyptian geese hanging around the flamingo pond, those are actually wild, and they just so happen to choose this pond to call their home. And they even have made a nest and hatched some very cute goslings. The rest of this video is completely dedicated to the largest animal attraction at SeaWorld, the orcas. After lunch, I got a backstage tour of Orca Stadium. There are paid tours where you can do this, but this was free during Inside Look. Here you can see the backside of Orca Stadium. If you look right there, you can see some of the bleachers. This is where the orcas spend most of their time here at SeaWorld San Antonio, in a pool that is about 40 feet deep, and it has a big awning to keep a good portion of it in the shade. This side has the 2 female orcas, and the other side that we'll get to shortly has both of the males. You can see here they're poking their head up out of the water, just looking around at all the people lined up staring into their home. They make a short lap around and then they know it's time to begin an interactive session. One thing that was obvious to me is that all of the animal ambassadors seemed that they really love their jobs. I saw so much enthusiasm in their faces and the way they interacted with the animals. I hope that it's pretty obvious in this clip here. Here he is giving her a signal to do an aerial. He gives her a little treat and then the signal, and she dives down into the water. Then he throws what I think is a small piece of ice to give her a little target. She finds it and boom, there's a whale in the air. It's pretty cool to seeing such a large animal propel themselves that far out of the water. Then she returns to receive her reward, which is a big double handful of fish. Here, they are telling us how to tell these two whales apart from each other, and pointing out their distinct markings. This is Takara. She's the same age as me, born in 1991 at SeaWorld San Diego, and she is the matriarch of this pod. We can tell that it is her by the distinctive freckle on the backside of her left eye spot. Also, the shading of the spot right behind her gray dorsal fin is a little gray in color. Now it's time to move over and meet the males. Here, demonstrating how he is weighed is Kyokut, or Kai for short. He is 33 years old, weighing in at a little over 9,700 pounds, making him the largest marine animal in Texas. They did address the dorsal fin collapse, and it is simply caused by spending a lot of time at the surface of the water. The structures inside the dorsal fin and tail fluke are basically like cartilage, and the weight of the dorsal fin does cause it to collapse when under the gravity felt at the surface of the water. These whales seem to be very happy and are under really good care by the ambassadors at SeaWorld. Up next we have his half-brother Tuar, who weighs around 8,500 pounds, and you can see the ambassador asking him to scoot over just a little bit to get him a little more centered on the scale for a more accurate reading. One thing that surprised me during this behind-the-scenes tour was that orcas love bubble parties. Here are some of the ambassadors struggling to get a good bubble going on a fairly windy day, so they end up switching to some of the smaller bubble wands. Just look at Kai and Tuar's face. They're having so much fun. Also, orcas love Jello. You can see those aqua-colored cubes she's throwing into his mouth. That's Jello. Now, I didn't ask, but I would assume that it is fish-flavored Jello, but still, Jello? Now, Kai is ready for his close-up. We get a little splash there as he comes to greet us at the closest slide during our behind-the-scenes tour. And here he is sticking his tongue out for the camera. Then he gives us a goodbye tail splash. Everybody say bye, Kai. Don't worry, we will see him again in just a moment. And there he is. Inside Orca Stadium, we see him completing an impressive aerial, along with Tuar following with his own shortly after. Like I said earlier, it was a very slow day in the park, so you can see the entire eastern side of Orca Stadium is completely empty. I'm going to spend a little bit of time explaining some of what you can expect attending these orca shows and tell you why I think they're definitely worth your time while at SeaWorld San Antonio. These shows are a major entertainment draw for the park, but there is a ton of educational content that goes along with them. These shows help keep orcas engaged and provide tons of enrichment time to help keep them happy and healthy. Also, don't forget, a lot of these proceeds from the ticket sales at SeaWorld are used for the care and research for these animals. A lot of the things that they learn through research at SeaWorld, they can use to help whales out in the wild. If you want to know more about that, there are links in the description of this video. Here, the ambassadors are explaining different types of behavior and what the orcas use them for out in the wild. This synchronous behavior is sometimes used while hunting as a pod, I'm guessing to tip over icebergs to reach a little snack. Orcas are really good at communicating with each other and completing actions in unison. And don't worry, because they will definitely show you multiple times. The ambassadors also spend some time explaining how the veterinarians take blood and urine samples to monitor the health of these animals. Just like this here, apparently the best place to take blood from an orca is the bottom side of their tail fluke. Orcas use a ton of different sounds and vocalizations to communicate with other orcas. And one of those sounds to let orcas know that they are in the area is the sound they make when they slam into the surface of the water. One of the most exciting parts of the orca shows at SeaWorld is sitting in the splash zone. This is actually a hunting technique that orcas in the wild use to stun their prey. But here at SeaWorld, this is just to get you wet. And I mean wet. Just look at those people getting soaked. And as you can see here, probably half of the rows are definitely in the splash zone. But hey, just look at the joy on this kid's face. He's having such a great time. And the whales? Well, they're just happy to be playing around. Now, I'm going to be quiet and let you enjoy the final number of this show, uninterrupted. Fair warning though, it is kind of a tearjerker, and even just watching to edit this video, I found myself almost crying in pure amazement at these whales. So thank you for watching and enjoy the show.
that joined us today. These animals have inspired you. And deepen your appreciation for the world, just as they have for all of us. We will continue to learn from them, and we hope that you will too. Thanks for joining us, and we hope you have a whale of a day here at SeaWorld. Goodbye, everyone.